Bj'orn Pierre. I want to thank you very much and welcome you to Adventist Radio London. This is your first time coming on Adventist Radio London, so yeah, I'm grateful to be the one hosting you.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, so how are you? How are you doing?
I'm cool. Just relaxing, working from home, relaxing. That's about it.
So do you work as a producer or engineer? If you're working for someone else in the studio?
I work for a metadata company, so I'm a metadata analyst.
What does that mean in simple English?
Simple English. If there's an ad, well, it's an ad company. So if there's an ad, I will put like the more nitty gritty, the more detailed information into it. So the brand, who is the advertiser, what kind of product it is, and I'll just tag it to the most defining way possible. That's about it.
Okay. So you're based in Trini?
Yeah, correct.
And do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself to someone else who doesn't know you, have never heard about you, who's never met you before? When they hear your name, what is it that should come to their mind?
A regular guy. That's the first thing. The second thing, a lot of people, or a few people, might know about me, but a lot don't. I clown around a lot, so I don't take things too seriously. Get a lot that have a serious face. Probably right. That's just face, but I clown around a lot. That's where I find my joy, just laughing at a lot of stuff. So yeah, I'm a cool regular guy. Love the Lord. That's the key thing. I love the Lord.
And you're a gospel singer, so I suppose that love for the Lord is what inspires your music.
Yes, correct.
And so what got you into gospel music, apart from the love for the Lord? I'm sure a lot of people, I don't know how many Christians there are in the world. A lot of Christians love the Lord, but they don't necessarily end up singing for the Lord. What inspired you to do that?
What inspired me to do that? I was always around music. I was born in a musical family. I've been hearing music all my life, singing all my life, even to the point where I didn't even realize that singing was a gift, because everybody sang around me until I heard someone singing off key one day, and it was like, they're doing this on purpose. This can't be real, And I was like 4, and that's when I realized singing is a gift. So from there, I started singing a lot of like regular stuff. A teenager, I was into rap. I started rapping actually.
Right.
And what got me into gospel music is I wanted to do music that I was convicted of and that had meaning and purpose. Because in rap music, and this is in no way playing down rap music, but the typical rap music that you'll be hearing would be, glorifying self and kind of exaggerating things. So you'll be talking about you have $1 million in the bank, these mansions, and most of the times it's just fronting, And I wanted to do real music that is me and that could connect with someone as well. So that's why I chose gospel music.
Right. Let me just hear what you think about this one. Do you think gospel is a genre, or it refers to just the lyrics? What's is it a subgenre, or is it like a broad term which categorizes so many genres underneath?
Yeah, that's how I will define it. Gospel music, I don't know who came up with the idea that gospel music is a genre. It is not. I would never say gospel music is a genre, because gospel is a message, and the genre is just the vehicle in which the message is transported.
Right.
You understand? So I don't see gospel could go in any genre. Once the message is clear, it's gospel music.
Yeah, because I know a lot of people would look at gospel as a genre in itself. So you can have rap, you can have soulful, you can have choirs and everything underneath, and they can just categorize that as the same. So yeah, it would be because I agree with what you say, but there are some people who've got a different perspective. I guess that speaks to your knowledge of music much more than anything else. And I realized that you were an award winner. This is within gospel music, I suppose. Do you want to tell us a little bit about that?
Well, I started taking music seriously, let's say around May last year. And
Mm-hmm.
from there, I just said, you know what? I'm just going to do this thing and I'm going to put all into it, you know. And then there's this award show in Trinidad called the the Gospel Music Awards of Trinidad and Tobago, put on
Mm-hmm.
by Cillian International. And I was nominated for the Breakout Artist of the Year.
Right.
Yeah, it came and I won, and it was just, you know, I never expected something like that so quickly, because it
Mm-hmm.
was less than a year that I decided to, you know, really push this music, and yeah, just grateful for the opportunity and the blessing.
And what's the gospel scene like in Trinidad? Because in some countries that are more into, you know, Christianity, gospel music can actually be mainstream as well. You can listen to it on mainstream radio stations, whereas here in the UK it's a little bit different. You know, it has to be I guess a Christian radio station for you to hear gospel music. What's the gospel music scene like there?
I mean, primarily there will be set gospel stations and set secular stations,
Mm-hmm.
but I think on most secular radio stations, they start the morning with gospel music.
Right.
But it's not their primary genre. Well, not genre, but it's not their primary type of music to be playing. So
Mm-hmm.
you can be listening to secular songs, and in between you hear a popular gospel song come in between the mix. And you know, I think that's a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
See that gospel music is still potent enough to be played on these stations. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
So does that mean that even those that are listening to that music as well, they are more welcoming of the sound and the message, because just culturally people are interested in Christianity. If people are starting a radio station in the morning with a prayer, and maybe weekends they've got a gospel show as well, even though they're secular radio stations, does that mean that people generally in Trinidad are more into Christianity, and it's more like a Christian country in general, predominantly?
Predominantly, yes, it is. But there are a lot of different religions in this country, and we all respect each religion.
Okay, so now you're this newcomer in the gospel scene in Trinidad. What's it like being a new gospel artist? Are there any cliques? Because you do find that in certain genres there are cliques for rap, R&B, or different things, or reggae. Are there any cliques within gospel music in Trinidad, or it doesn't matter whether you're a newcomer or you're an old dog? You're all welcome the same way.
I mean, once you're putting out music, I was shocked to see how many people reached out to me. You know, it's not really clicks that much. So people will message you. They'll be like, yo, I'm seeing what you're doing. I'm enjoying what you're doing. Keep at it. You know, the encouragement. And even recently, right before COVID, I was invited to one of the top gospel singers. He was having a show, Positive. I don't know if you
Yes, I
know
know
Positive.
positive. Yeah, I know positive.
I was on the lineup for his album launch this year, but you know, COVID
Yeah.
postponed them. So it's not really that much of a click thing. If you're doing good, people will reach out to you. They encourage, and it's like a family. You know, a lot of them I've never seen face to face, but we speak a lot on social media and stuff.
So what's the secret then? Because it seems like you said yourself you started taking gospel music seriously last year, 2019. That's in May, and now it's been a year now, and you've managed to achieve quite a lot for somebody who's just started. What's the secret? Is it the hard work? Is it the connections? Is it the prayer? What is it? Or is it a combination of everything? What has it been like for you? What's been your experience?
I would say it's the guidance of God, because yes, I could put in as I know a lot of people who work very hard, but still may not accomplish as much. And I'm always grateful for, you know, I wouldn't say that I reached, but for even to be at a place now where, you know, at least I get a little bit of respect. If I put out a song, people will be like, hey, we love what this guy is doing, you know. Each song comes from tapping into the source of Christ. And he guides the pen, he guides the music, he guides the next move. And I think that is the key. because I could be working very hard and could still not reach anywhere, So
Yeah.
I believe it's a spiritual relationship with God.
Yeah. So, yes, let's move on quickly now to your music. Right. You released a track recently, Fire Drill, and that's how I ended up, finding out about you. Tell me a little bit about Fire Drill. It's a brand new track. What's going on in Fire Drill? Let me just read something here. It says, the purpose is to raise mankind's awareness of the signs of the times we're living in. Jesus is preparing to burst the clouds, and he's given us all the signs that his coming is near. What you saying? You've said a lot in one paragraph. Do you want to break it down for us? What's Fire Drill about?
Fire Drill is, well, we know what a fire drill is. It's a simulation of the actual event of a fire taking place.
Mm-hmm.
So it's you being taking precaution and learning how you will deal with when the actual fire comes, because you're thinking that, hey, anytime a fire could come, right? In the Bible is our guide, and we have prophecy in the Bible to show that there will be signs when, you will see certain things happening in the earth, and we all live towards knowing that Christ's coming is soon. And Christ's coming is not just coming when things great. Christ will be coming when things are like gloomy, bad. A lot of things will be happening on the earth. So as this whole COVID situation came up, it raised my senses, and I was inspired to write this song because there's so much that I see happening that a lot of people didn't realize that this is actually one of the signs of the time. This is not even the grand scheme. So I say it's like just the simulation.
Mm-hmm.
Just the fire drill right now. Everyone is going through the fire drill right now. Like what we're going through right now, take notes and prepare for the actual fire.
And do you think that's a message that a lot of Christians realize that it's relevant, it's very important to preach, or it hasn't made it into mainstream Christianity, if I may put it that way, that, listen, Jesus is literally around the corner, very soon he'll be coming. Is that a mainstream Christian message?
It is, but what I realize is when something is preached over and over and over, we get desensitized,
Mm-hmm.
And so science could be passing right in front of your face, and you'll just be, I've been hearing this for so long, So although it's a mainstream message, it usually doesn't hit as hard now as it used to, because it's what we've always been hearing. So it's until you start to see signs and really go back to the word, then you will, be more aware and ready for what is to come. So yeah, right. I think it's mainstream. It has always been mainstream. It's just not as, potent as before, I think.
Right. And what would you say to someone who says, okay, that may be a bit scary, that, Jesus is coming, he's going to come with the clouds of the sky, and, people are going to, not everyone is going to, go to heaven. Some are not going to go to heaven. That's a bit scary to focus on. Let's focus on, Jesus loves me. This I know. And then just leave it there.
No, if some people enjoy the soft gospel, but gospel has many dynamics to it. It has the loving, warm part, and it has the harsh truth. It's a harsh truth. It's like a two-edged sword, as the word says. Mm-hmm. So, if that's all you're into Christianity for, is good words and happiness and joy and great messages, that has its place, but there is a harsh reality to Christianity, which is the reality of the times we're living in. So you need to accept the whole truth.
Yes. And that's Fire Drill, a brand new track.
This just a fire, oh, this just a fire, yeah. This just a fire, oh, this just a fire, yeah. This just a fire, oh, this just a fire, this just a fire, oh, this just a fire. The whole world get shake up. Government's putting on makeup. A Don't know when all of my people gonna wake up. They fall in love with the world, it's time to break up. No time to play, this time's to pray. Open up your Bible and read what it says. We're living in the very last days. We're living in the iron and clay. Perilous times gonna come, but we just in the trial. When the time come, don't get caught in the fire. Where you gonna stand when it down to the wire? Now is not no time to retire, better be prepared. This just a fire drill. Get out the way before the fire kill. I say this fire kill. This just a fire drill. And don't get caught up in the hocus pocus. Christians focus. This just a fire drill. Get out the way before the fire kill. I say this fire kill. This just a fire drill. And don't get caught up in the hocus pocus. Christians focus. This just a fire. Oh, this just a fire. This just a fire. Oh, this just a fire drill. I know it's all the critics and the skeptics. The only thing they believe is the metrics. So they sit in front of the TV watching Netflix, thinking everything just gonna get fixed. But when the fire come, everybody ball, oh God. They never read their Bible, so they never know God. The oil in the lamps get burn out. Brother, don't let your oil run out. Cause if your lamp's not trimmed, I don't know where you're heading. My brother, you don't wanna miss the wedding. The bride getting ready and the bridegroom coming. And you don't wanna be stuck with the five that you're running. Better be prepared, this just a fire drill. Get out the way before the fire kill. I say this fire kill, oh no, this just a fire drill. And don't get caught up in the hocus pocus. Christians focus, this just a fire drill. Get out the way before the fire kill. I say this fire kill, oh no, this just a fire drill. And don't get caught up in the hocus pocus. Christians focus. This just a fire, oh this just a fire. This just a fire, oh this just a fire. This just a fire, oh this just a fire. This just a fire, oh this just a fire. And I say who don't hear gon' feel. And how you gonna hear the Lord voice if you don't read? Meditate upon the word. Don't waste time, get deep in the word. Many gonna cry and I say who don't hear gon' feel. The only way to hear the Lord voice is if you read. Stop playing with the fire and brimstone. The iron and clay will get mixed on. Yeah, the whole world get shake up. Government's putting on makeup. Don't know when all of my people gonna wake up. They just a fire drill.
If you're just tuning in and you wonder who I'm chatting to, I am talking to Bj'orn Pierre, a Trinidadian, an amazing singer, an amazing songwriter, an amazing musician, basically. And I'm sure you heard for yourself. But the conversation is still continuing. We're going to continue shortly, straight after this. So do stay tuned. If you want to get in touch with me, Nigel at AdventistRadio.London, Nigel at AdventistRadio.London. Do send your messages. If you want to send your prayer requests as well, feel free to get in touch. You can also send your text messages directly in the studio. 82228, begin your message with the word hope, or studio at AdventistRadio.London. Stay tuned, more coming up after this. In Conversation on Drive Time. And you've got also another a track that you released 2020 as well. Is that Surrender?
Well, that was a feature. I was on a feature of a friend of mine's.
Right. And how did that happen? Have you always been friends, or you just hooked up for that particular track? I've
known Mekaiel from our parents used to sing together, so
right.
We know each other from babies. And recently I started recording as a recording studio, so I invited him. And since then we've been working together. And this one day he came in with this song, and I was just vibing it, and I said, "Yo, I'm hearing something on this track." And he said, "Go ahead, sing. Let's see what it has." And that was that.
What's the message in that song in a nutshell?
The message is, it teaches to surrender to God. It shows the whole human element where we want to take things into our own hands, but it's only when we surrender that we see things happening. It's only when we surrender it all to God that the mountains will move and that things will start to take flight.
Just looking at what's happening at the moment, We've got this pandemic, coronavirus. A lot of people have lost their lives. A lot of people have lost their jobs. So you're quite fortunate that, you're still working from home. For a lot of people, that's not the reality that they're going through at the moment. You talk about life is not a bed of roses. In No Bed of Roses. That's a track that came out in 2019, right?
2019, yes.
Yes. How important is this message during this coronavirus?
Not only for the coronavirus, I would say for life in general.
Mm-hmm.
Some days you're floating on a cloud, some days you're in the drain, in the valley, I think it's a message that a lot of people who get, brought into Christianity miss. That as much as we preach God will supply and God will provide, even Christ's life was not a bed of roses as he came, because he came with a purpose. And we as Christians living to follow Christ, we can't expect our lives to be easy because he paid it all. We will go through the same things he went through and the same struggles he went through. So I believe it's very important, not only for this time, but for the entire Christian life, that we should understand life is not a bed of roses, but hold on to God.
But life never give change. Pray all you want, the answer is still wait. Starting to doubt when life start to frustrate. But wait, don't lose your faith. Times when you're starting to lose patience. Remember the hard days when God saw you through. He was there from the start. So although they're trying to break you, it's Father God who make you. So just keep this song in your heart. See, life can be hard, so hard, so hard. It's no bed of roses, but hold on to God. There is beauty in your scars. It's no bed of roses, but hold on to God. Your foundation steady and not shaking. Your bends but not breaking. Your dark clouds will all soon be gone. Life is hard, so hard, so hard. But hold on to God, hold on to God. He never promised you an easy road, there are trials you must face. Never promised that the weapons wouldn't form, but all of them would fail. There'll be stumbling blocks to break you down while running in this race. But all your broken pieces, God will put it back in place. Times when you're crying on your knees, saying, Father, help me please. Put an angel over me to guide my way. There'll be times you feel like giving up, but know that God is big enough. He's a listening ear to every prayer you pray. Pray. Life can be hard, so hard, so hard. It's no bed of roses, but hold on to God. There is beauty in your scars. It's no bed of roses, but hold on to God. Your foundation steady and not shaking. Your bends but not breaking. The dark clouds will all soon be gone. Life is hard, so hard, so hard. But hold on to God. Cause oh, there's so much peace we often forfeit. And so much needless pain we bear. See, it's all because we do not carry everything to God in prayer. If you know the song, sing, say, what a friend we have in Jesus. All our sins and griefs to bear. And what a privilege to God. Read everything to God in prayer.
Essential Topics, Gospel Melodies on Drive Time.
Just looking at your own experiences, have you ever maybe reached a point where you realize that, life is really not that easy? And how easy is it to remember, such a message that, it doesn't mean that God has left you. It's just a phase. It's a passing phase. We go through these moments. How easy is it to remember that fact when you are in that situation? Maybe looking at your own experiences.
Well, I've actually faced an experience recently where I was hospitalized during the corona situation.
Right.
I had to do a surgery on my heart and that kind of stuff. And it was, even in that situation, I felt like I wrote the song for that situation before in advance for that situation. And being there is just, it happened for a reason. Every trial happens for a reason. There's a teaching process going on, and it molds us into a better being. Well, that's the purpose of it. Some come out better, some come out worse. And that's I've been through it many times, and I could attest to it. It is true. Life is not a bed of roses.
Wow. So you're literally just fresh out of surgery?
Not fresh, probably 2 months.
2 months. And are you feeling better?
I am better. I wouldn't say 100%. I'm like 90, in the high 90s.
Right.
Still taking.
Okay. Well, we'll continue praying for your speedy recovery up until you get to 100. And I guess this then takes me to another song of yours. The songs I'm mentioning are songs that came across on Spotify. So No Grudge. You talk about poison vitamin. Why poison vitamin?
So I would say poison vitamins because vitamins are something that you take every day to get about your day, right? Mm-hmm. But a poison vitamin, unlike vitamin C and these other things, is like you purposefully go into to top up on your hate, on your malice, on your envy. You're just topping up on these things daily. And you don't need to. You know what I mean? Like, you don't need to read. Sometimes some people go through their day good, and then they see that one person, and then they just remind themselves how much they don't like that person. And they just see that person and it just spoil a day. And that's the concept of poison vitamins. Stop taking poison vitamins,
And I guess that's a message that's quite relevant, especially in this day that we live in. Not just now, to be honest, in the whole of humanity. I think at some point everyone has taken a dose of that poison vitamin, and you always hear, and not just religious people or preachers speaking, but just anyone who has ever studied the way the mind works, how to take care of ourselves and our well-being. You always hear people saying, holding a grudge is not good for your well-being. It's not a matter of, quoting a Bible or anything, even scientifically. It has been proven that, when you hold a grudge, if you hate somebody, if you've got anger, it affects your mental well-being. So I guess it's really important to spread that message. And especially where there's certain times where it becomes difficult, isn't it, to let go of a grudge. And I guess that's where religion, or not just religion, but that's where Christ comes in. Because we can go through all these mediations, sitting down and chatting to people, trying to get over whatever that would have happened, that would have hurt someone else. But without Christ, that process of forgiveness and reconciliation may not take place the way we want it to take place. So I think that's a good message to spread, particularly during this time or at any time at all.
You wouldn't go drinking a bottle of poison expecting the next man to death. Cause you know that drinking a bottle of poison could never be good for your health. So why do some people keep holding in hatred and wishing bad on someone else? They only damaging themselves. Stop taking poison vitamins. Every little thing people do keeps on bothering you taking poison vitamins. Daily your dosage gets stronger, my brother. I say that's a poisonous life to live. Mindset to keep you like a slave. Malice will eat you from within. It's time to let go of the sin and hold on to love. Hold on to God, but don't hold no grudge. Hold on to love. Hold on to grace. Bad mind, jealousy have no place inside of us. Don't hold no grudge. Hold on to love. Say hold on to love, 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 love. Hold on to love. Say hold on to love, 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 love. Eh, bad mind is a dead road. Some people don't let go. Hurt me, I go hurt you. God never teach you to live so. This world have broken people. We need a different approach. You gotta pray for wisdom. If fire fight fire, whole place burn down. No matter how they mistreat you, live for God and love people. Don't take on the bad people. Strive for love and not evil. Evil looking out, you my people. So stay awake, you can't sleep. If you close your eye, you can't see it. The royal lion white, so hold on to love. Hold on to God, but don't hold no grudge. Hold on to love. Hold on to grace. Bad mind, jealousy have no place inside of us. Don't hold no grudge. Say hold on to love. Eh. Say hold on to love, 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 love. Hold on to love. Say hold on to love, 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 love. Before you have confrontation, try to hold a conversation. Sometimes miscommunication could be causing your frustration. In every bad situation, God is the only solution, and the answer is love, love. Hey, before you have confrontation, try to hold a conversation. Sometimes miscommunication could be causing your frustration. In every bad situation, God is the only solution, and the answer is love, love. Hold on to love. Hold on to God, but don't hold no grudge. Hold on to love. Hold on to grace. Bad mind, jealousy have no place inside of us. Don't hold no grudge. Hold on to love. Say hold on to love, 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 love. Hold on to love. Say hold on to love. Hold on to love. Hey. Bad mind is a dead road. Some people don't let go. Hold on to love. Hold on to God, but don't hold no grudge. Hold on to love. Hold on to love. Holding on to love. Holding on to love. Holding on to love. Holding on to love.
In conversation on Drive Time.
These are the tracks that I obviously came across on Spotify. The year, I mean, I was about to say the year has just started, but we're halfway into 2020 now. It feels like it was only yesterday when we were saying Happy New Year. I don't know, what sort of plans did you have for 2020?
I had a plan of releasing an album this year, but Corona came and it just kind of threw back everything. But before Corona, I got sick right before Corona, so I think the sickness is what really threw it off. And then Corona was just like, yeah, no way this year, not this year at all. So, I mean, for now, I'm working on the project still, but it may be a 2021 release. I'm excited for that project.
So that's what we should be looking forward to, that project. And before I let you go, if people want to get in touch with you, if people want to reach out to you, how do they do that? Social media, and yes, if they want to listen to your music, where can they find your music? I know I've mentioned Spotify already, but what other platforms?
I'm on all streaming platforms. You just type up the name Bj'orn Pierre. It's BJ'ORN PIERRE. You can find me on Instagram at Bj'orn P Music, on Facebook at Bj'orn Pierre, on YouTube Bj'orn Pierre, and I think I use Instagram the most, but I post on Facebook more. So you'll be more updated on Facebook.
All right, Bj'orn, thank you very much. I really do appreciate this, and hopefully we'll do this again, maybe next year or at some point when you release something else. We can't wait for that to happen.
Essential topics, gospel melodies on Drive Time.
How far will money get you? Question, what's the point of living your life if you're living your life to die? What's the point of working so hard just to show off nice things you buy? Have you ever thought there must be more to life? I want to let you know that heaven is real time to live pleasing in God's eyes. Because you can't take cars to heaven when you're there, and to get in you don't need degrees, but a clean heart and a right spirit, oh God, that's all you ask of me. See, sometimes I lose my purpose when possessions take my focus, but you have so much more in store for me. What would it profit a man to gain the world and lose his soul? I don't know why we fight for these things down here when we'll be walking on gold. Cause a man can gain the world and lose his soul. But tell me, what's your goal? In the end you will have nothing. So what's the profit in that? Profit in that. Profit. And 10 is given by grace. You live out your life for the Hollywood stage. Use all your gifts to get rich, get whips. But what's going to happen when the Hollywood fades? When all your friends forget you and youthful life has left you. How far will money get you? But God said, seek ye first the kingdom, and all other things will add to his son. The righteous road not easy to run. With God you can run it. See, sometimes I lose my purpose when possessions take my focus, but you have so much more in store for me. What would it profit a man to gain the world and lose his soul? I don't know why we fight for these things down here when we'll be walking on gold. Cause a man can gain the world and lose his soul. But tell me, what's your goal? In the end you will have nothing. So what's the profit? In that? Tell me, what's the profit? I just don't know. See, it's your profit that you misuse, so it's your profit that you gon' lose. Earthly things rust and moth corrupt, so I set my eyes on the mountain top. No, it ain't no profit in that. It ain't no profit in that.
This is Adventist Radio London,